이 길로 한번 나가보자 하는 사람끼리 모여서 이렇게 만들게 됐어요.
그때는 진짜 저희가 창단을 하긴 했는데 너무 못했어요.
부족하다고 저희가 생각은 했지만 이렇게까지 부족할 줄은 몰랐어요. 진 이후로 정말 노력 많이 했거든요.
제가 생각해도 그때 경기 보면 너무 부끄럽고 그때와는 완전 180도 다른 팀으로 보시면 될 것 같습니다.
네, 북한인 이영준 선수가 위쪽에서 이곳이 이니시에이팅의 중요성이
보스는 2명이잖아요. 그거보다는 제가 좀 맞추지를 못하는 것 같아요.
비타 형은 공격적인 스타일을 바라고요. 저는 방어적으로 하기 때문에 돈빈이가 더 잘.
나이가 같다 보니까 그냥 더 편하고 그래가지고.
그러니까 이길 수 있는 거는 동빈이랑 할 때가 많이 이기기 때문에 돈빈이랑 할 때가 좋은.
근데 그렇게 따지면 또 제가 못하는 게 됐는데.
근데 물론 비타 형이랑 할 때도 재밌었어요. 지기는 했지만.
어느 조가 죽음의 조가 되고 어느 조가 한결 수월한 조가 될 것인지 먼저 4개 뒤로 갑니다.
네, 처음에 디드 뽑았을 때는 늦게 하길 원했고 왜냐면 하루하루 달라지고 점점 성장하고 있기 때문에 그거 너무 좋았습니다.
이제 첫 정식 리그인데 쉽게 올라가는 것보다 어려운 팀들 만나면서 임팩트 있게 올라가는 게 더 좋다고 생각해서 이겨서 올라가고 싶어요.
왜 죽음의 조라고 생각하는지 모르겠어요. 저희 팀 때문에 그런가?
꼬마 선수와 함께
얘 죽여요? 진짜 죽여요? 잡아요?
이영준 선수 역시 스타테일의 꼬마
에로에게 꽃미남으로 불리고 있어요.
그런 인기가 올랐다라는 건 아직 잘 모르겠어요. 저희 동생들도 진짜 한 명 한 명 다 스타성이 있고 말도 재밌게 하고 특히 게임도 엄청 잘하기 때문에 이번 대회를 좀 계기로 저희 동생들도 좀 많이 알려졌으면 좋겠어요.
일단 매 경기 좋은 모습 보여드리면서 우승까지 최대한 노력하면서 가겠습니다.
모두가 열심히 다 준비한 것 같아요. 일단 감독님부터 선수들까지 목표도 되게 높게 잡고 있거든요. 경기력으로 한번 보여드리겠습니다.
I don't know who she is, but she was first in line today, that woman they just showed on camera.
That means she's been here for over 3 hours.
That means she's
waiting
been here
in line
all day.
to watch the group of death. Oh my god,
Yep.
this match is going to be exciting.
This is going to be so off the chain. Oh my god, it's Logo Dogo! Oh my god! What the hell? Wow, okay, he wasn't expecting to be on camera.
Yeah, so, oh my god, those last couple games were very, very exciting. Yeah, Korean style. But this last one is what's going to be the true reason why it's called the Group of Death. We got 2 professional teams duking it out to see who can even just make it out of the group of, or in the round of 16. Very
Yeah.
good. Oh man.
Come on, man. Wow, he is like so embarrassed. That's funny. Anyway, you're right, exactly right. This last game, it's the first time that we've had 2 professional, it's basically the first time we've had a professional team, 2 professional teams where one of them is poised to be eliminated. There is, of course, Hotshot GG from Team CLG. He is here to support Fnatic, and his team did get to the quarterfinals, despite being in this very same spot. But I think StarTale is going to be a little bit more tough of an opponent.
I think
for
just
Team
a
Fnatic
little bit.
Team Fnatic to face. So, man, they got their work cut out for them. They got, I don't want to say owned, but because it was pretty even for the
Their
first 25
weakness was
minutes or
found
so.
and exploited.
But after they got a little bit of a disadvantage, Team Fnatic really just fell out of control and could not handle the rest of that game. So they're going to have to turn it around. They're going to have to do something a little bit different this game if they're going to succeed. And yeah, I think their first game against StarTale came down, in my opinion, to the team fights. It came down to StarTale having a lot better engages that Fnatic couldn't deal with immediately and instantly enough. And so they're going to have to make sure that Fnatic's going to have to make sure that they're engaging in the team fights on their terms this game.
Yeah, that is very true. And last game, Lamia was a little bit lower in the creep score against the Hunters team. So we've got to make sure that he's going to be being a little bit more aggressive with those creeps early on, making sure they're not being killed by the turrets.
Yep.
Jungle is going to be extremely interesting. Koma, obviously, one of the players that everyone points to for one of StarTale's strengths. Cyanide, obviously, doing very well as well.
Yep.
Xpeke, very strong, very good strat caller for Team Fnatic. So with his knowledge of this game and the team just being together for a very long time, hopefully they can figure out exactly what they did wrong on Wednesday and fix it for here today.
There we go. And there we have our ADs. Lamia, very consistent, very reliable. And down here at the bottom, again, supporting them, Mafa and Melisan. Man, this is going to be crazy. This is going to be crazy. Because, you know, even though, like I said, the last, 10-15 minutes of the game before, StarTale was definitely in complete control, most of the game was very, very even until it reached a certain tipping point. So, these teams are, I think, really evenly matched. The positioning and the engagements for the team fights, if they go a little differently, we could see an epically long game, with both teams trading back and forth for a long time. Or we could see one team or the other. Either team could take an advantage and snowball it out of control as well, like we saw StarTale do on Wednesday.
Yeah, in the last game against Hunters, Fnatic was given a bunch of gifts by Hunters, so they were able to exploit them quite easily. I don't think StarTale is going to be giving any of them today, so they're going to need to fight for every single kill, make sure they don't face check any bushes or go into areas without the knowledge that they had. Maybe we'll actually see a clairvoyance coming out from Fnatic so that they can scan an area before going in, knowing that it's relatively safe.
Maybe, or at least taking a champion such as a Cassiopeia or a Karthus that can check a bush before going into it or something like that.
Yeah.
Although if your Karthus or your Cass is close enough to that bush to check it, they're too close. But
yeah, once again, Shen and Nidalee are being banned out here by Fnatic. Definitely don't want to be playing against them. Ahri, also very strong. Want to keep that away from StarTale. Ryu, the middle player for StarTale, is very confident on Ahri, but also very confident on Ryze. So we're going to see which champion he goes for in a little bit.
And
Janna,
Fnatic bans Janna right out the bat.
Chooses Janna.
I'm sorry, chooses Janna. My bad. Choose Janna. They ban Shen and Nidalee every time, so no surprise there. Ahri, a good ban as well. And StarTale actually banning Urgot, which is a little interesting, seeing as how didn't they play Urgot against Fnatic before? Or no. I'm sorry, Fnatic had played Urgot. You're right, and they were pretty strong with that.
Yeah,
so good choice.
Lamia was doing a pretty good job with Urgot against StarTale on Wednesday. So now actually it looks like Lamia might grab Ashe. Ashe being one of the champions that StarTale used very effectively for those initiations. Also Janna as well. So it's interesting to see that we've got the positions reversed for who's picking which champion first. Completely changing how things are going around.
Fnatic has the exact same bot lane that StarTale had in their previous match.
Yep.
And we do see actually a clairvoyance. They might change that before the game begins, but clairvoyance on Alistair, on Mafa, so they might be going for that clairvoyance instead of Fnatic, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, but Nocturne there can kind of throw some darkness in case a clairvoyance comes out, block out the sun, not allowing StarTale to get the full effect from that. Although most likely they'll just be using it for some really awesome ganks later on.
Yeah, definitely strong ganker, and we see him actually taking a flash anyway. Sometimes we see Nocturnes actually not take flash because they have that.
Oh, that's Xpeke. We'll wait until.
Oh, that's true. I'm sorry. You're right. They could change things around, or they will change things around. Very doubtful. Xpeke is going to be playing Nocturne mid.
Yeah, it looks like Mundo and Vladimir for StarTale, both very, very strong. Vladimir gets extremely strong late game, very hard to kill.
Speaking of hard to kill, Mundo as a jungler also very strong,
which we've seen in a lot of the games here in this tournament.
Yeah.
The lower he is in health, the more powerful he actually gets. So a little bit of a misnomer there for the enemy team. So now they need to pick their middle and their top lane. What are they going to do to counter Vladimir? And then how are they going to go into the middle lane blind? A very interesting choice they have. Both Twisted Fate and Ahri and Anivia are removed for the middle lane.
Probably a Galio. Looks like we're going to see a Galio mid and
That
Cannon
can
top.
synergize extremely well in those
Oh
team
my
fights.
god,
If he
that
uses
could
Idle
be
Durans,
so
make sure to taunt the entire team of StarTale for a few seconds.
and then
Slicing
go into
Maelstrom
slicing
coming
Maelstrom
out. Cannon.
and own them all up. That could be very, very strong. Not to mention Ash's Crystal, Enchanted Crystal Arrow could start things off. So definitely a lot of engagement options for Team Fnatic. StarTale is going to have Alistair for a possible engagement as well. And of course, as we've seen, Mundo running crazily into the enemy team is also a valid strategy.
Yeah, with Vladimir as well, dropping into his Sanguine Pool, being able to do a lot of AoE damage. Fnatic's going to want everyone very close, but so is StarTale, so it's going to be interesting to see how that works. Cassiopeia, very nice pick to add just the total synergy all the way around.
Very cool if they lock that in. Nope, I was actually thinking earlier I was gonna say they might get Rise since he's available. And they might switch over to that Rise
Yep.
pick.
Rise is going to be the last pick. It does look like they still have 3 Ignites on the StarTale team. Going to want to put down a lot of hurt. 2 Ignites from Fnatic. Obviously focusing on both Mundo and Vladimir. But they got to time those perfectly to be able to get the maximum effect they possibly can from that.
All right, so there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The teams that these two teams, I guess the champion teams that these two teams will be playing with in order to try and secure a spot in the quarterfinals. Everything is on the line. This is the last game of the entire round of 16. The last spot in the quarterfinals is up for grabs. Who will take it? The Korean professional team, StarTale, or will the European professional team, Fnatic, take the win and take that spot instead? One of these teams is going home without a spot in the quarterfinals tonight. Who will it be? We're going to find out very soon.
Yeah, and StarTale, obviously a professional team for a very long time, getting all the resources they need from just the multi-gaming team, StarTale.
Yeah.
But Fnatic, also a couple of their players are still students, so they don't have the full time to commit to this. However, they do have the passion to put in the long-term fights. Here is the lane matchups that we're most likely going to be seeing. The jungle is going to be, of course, very, very scary coming out of Fnatic.
Oh, yeah. Yes, indeed. Yeah, this, I mean, both players junglers, actually. Mundo coming out of the bushes is a scary sight, too. If he hits you with his Infected Cleaver, it slows you down an awful lot, even at level 1. It can be very, very dangerous to be hit by that. And, you know, I didn't see, I think, did Mundo take an exhaust? Usually we see Mundos with an exhaust.
Mundo has exhaust. He doesn't need to be as mobile because he wants people around him, so he's not going to be jumping away from any fights. But with the exhaust and smite, he can do a lot of damage.
Exactly.
Make sure that the other team can't run away.
Yeah, so he can hit you with the cleaver, slow you down, exhaust you. We'll see what happens, though. The game is about to begin. StarTale versus Fnatic for the last spot in the quarterfinals. Who will emerge second from the group of death? Let's find out. And we'll be finding out soon. Don't worry. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The last game of the round of 16 is about to begin.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
All right, and not a good day for invasions, I guess. Once again, both teams just fanning out, protecting their own jungle, seeing if there's any invasion attempts so they know where it's located rather than trying to invade the other.
Yeah, StarTale does have a good team for a counter invasion if they actually get into that situation. So Fnatic's probably going to stay a little away. Rise already going for the Sapphire Crystal, build up his mana so he can stay in lane a little bit longer, and also obviously do a little bit more damage because most of his abilities scale with the amount of mana that he actually has. But that's going to make him a little less maneuverable in the lane going against Galio early on.
Yeah, he'll be able to build that into Terror of a Goddess pretty quickly afterwards as well. So,
yep, a bit of a greedy build early on, but that's relatively normal for Rise to have, especially when you're confident with Nocturne on the other team. He's going to be a champion that doesn't gank quite early. He's going to need his ultimate before he can get really, really powerful. when he drops that paranoia, the darkness, and jumps in on you.
That's a pretty sweet Mundo skin, gotta say. Lamia and Melisson are going to go ahead and take these golems down here. A nice little leash on that from Janna. And they're going to help Cyanide with the wolves and the blue buff golem as well. So pretty standard start off here. And again, blue team getting a little bit of an advantage. Their bottom lane is going to get to lane with a little bit.
You know,
a little bit ahead.
I really like the skin choices of StarTale. They chose a lot of champions that are very dark. So when Nocturne does use his darkness ability, they're going to camouflage a little bit and be harder to find.
It's true.
Like even Vladimir up top, he's got the dark skin as well. So we'll see how that comes into play in a little bit.
Is that called Vandal Vladimir? Is that what it is?
I don't know the skin names.
Kind of punk rock Vlad, basically. Anyway, so, and actually Koma going straight for his red buff as well. He's going to be having double buffs. Wouldn't be surprised to see him gank top pretty early right afterwards. Maybe he's going to get the golems first.
Yeah, it would be nice to try to take away some of that farm from Kennen early on. If he gets farmed up too much, he's going to be...
Wow, Melisson getting caught here. Oh, the Howling Gale and the Flash. Oh, the Flash. Oh! Summoner heal coming out to just barely save Melisson.
Yeah, a lot of summoner spells being used for Fnatic, but same thing for StarTale. So pretty much an even trade. That's going to leave Melisson relatively low, though, for a little while. He's going to need to use up his health potions to try to stay alive. But we do have a gank attempt coming on XPeke. He's going to be forced to flash as well. This is leaving a lot of the Fnatic team without the ability to run away. Most of them are relatively hurt as well, so really nice job for StarTale putting on the pressure early on. Maybe it's not going to do anything directly, but that's going to really hurt the psyche of Fnatic. They lost the game 1 of this series, so just being on that mental back foot already is going to hurt Fnatic a little bit. Let's see if Nocturne can do anything about it, but unlikely because that ward is very nicely placed.
Yeah, they're being very cautious here.
Pretty much just wasting time on his buffs at the moment.
Yeah, and I like how they haven't really poked him to show that they know he's there, so he does waste more time. They're kind of playing cautious, but also not too cautious, so that he would stay in the area, and very wisely done. So Joker continuing to farm despite the presence of Nocturne.
Yeah, they knew that both Lamia and Melisson wouldn't have been able to flash in on them, so it's really just Nocturne that they would have had to deal with, but Nocturne's not going to have any sort of crazy stuns against them at only level 3. So really nice choice, like you were saying.
Excellently done. Vlad's going to go ahead and farm up here. Look at that. See, he pauses the lane a little bit just so those minions don't run into the tower range. Waits for his own minions to get there to stall. Makes it a lot easier. Vlad can farm under tower pretty well in later levels, but at just level, what is he, 3? And it's going to be more difficult to do so. Sorry, 4 now.
Yep. Yeah, but Kennen already went back to grab an Amplifying Tome that's going to give him a little bit more ability power right off the bat, so he can poke down Vladimir. But Vladimir's going to have none of that, keeping the minions by his turret. Very smart of him to stay in the safe zone right now.
Oh, wow. Alistair going ahead, headbutting Lamia back. Is he going to be able to get out? Oh, the exhaust goes down. And oh, is he going to? No, he's not going to get out. For a second, it looked like he was just going to walk away from that. But you know what? That's what happens when your Ashe does not have flash or heal up. No way to get out of that.
Yeah, not too good, but now...
oh, Melisson! Oh, my God! Barely saving himself with Eye of the Storm. Will Joker get away, though? The fear goes off! Oh! And Cyanide gets the kill, the counter kill, so it's 1 for 1 now, technically, with Janna getting away there.
Yeah, Janna had to use the Eye of the Storm on herself. Still only made it out with about 10 health. Nice look by StarTale, but a little bit unfortunate for them.
Yeah.
And a nice 1-to-1 trade there. First blood, though, going to StarTale.
Yeah, good use of Nocturne's E there in that fight. What is his E called again?
Nocturne?
Yeah.
You mean the thing that we can't talk about?
Oh, yeah. Can't talk about it. Oh, no, but here going in on Alistair Ball is by himself. Mafa goes down as well, with Lamia coming back in there to deal the damage. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we see whenever the bot goes, the attack damage champion on bottom goes back, the support goes back as well, because when they're by themselves, they're just easy pickings.
And that's something you definitely need to capitalize on if you see your enemy team not going back when they should. So that's going to actually bring the gold count up to almost even. very good for them.
Well, Cyanide is sitting pretty on 2 kills right now. 28 creep score as well. He's a little bit behind Mundo in the creep score, but 2 kills makes up for that.
Yep.
By a long shot.
Yeah, and if he gets a little bit stronger, that's going to make really, really nice ganks once he hits level 6, which he actually has right now, but he's going to make sure he gets the mana that he needs, grabs the blue buff once again as soon as it spawns, or gives it to Galio if he really wants to, but I think Nocturne would be more beneficial to have it right now, especially since he's going to need to roam around and help the rest of his lanes as much as possible.
Yeah, I expect Nocturne to maybe give Galio his 3rd blue, but he might take the 2nd one for himself.
Yep. But really nice ward placed from StarTale. They actually placed it in the path if Galio were to go and try to get the blue buff for their team. So they're going to know exactly when Fnatic goes for the buff, so they can time the 3rd one if they want to go in for a counter gank, and then also just know when they can be aggressive when Galio's not in lane.
Interesting. Very good idea.
Yep. So it looks like they are actually going to give it to Galio.
Yep, they're going for it right now. And is Ryze going to... Nope, never mind. I thought Ryze was moving that direction. Oh, you got to take one more shot at it, Xpeke. He thought he was timing that perfectly.
Ooh.
There we go.
Yeah, that was a little bit dangerous. If it had gone back to reset, that would have wasted a lot of time.
Yep.
But they were able to get that last hit.
So we do get both blues to both mids, actually. And, you know, Mundo doesn't really need that blue buff anyway, since he doesn't have mana. Mundo is basically a wall of meat. He just has health, and that's it.
That's all you need, though, for a giant cow.
That's all you need. Oh, a little bit down. Oh, he flash ults and Nocturne ults in as well. Are they going to get the fear off? The fear goes down on tower. Takes one more slash. And ladies and gentlemen, Cyanide is 3-0 this game. Mundo's going to come in here and try and clear off some minions off this turret. Popping his ultimate, actually, which gives him regen because he knows that if he didn't have some regeneration, Galio might be able to force him off that tower.
Yeah, and because Galio had a little bit of breathing room, he was able to go drop another very offensive ward there in StarTale's jungle. That's going to be really good for them to know the exact positioning of Dr. Mundo. Just really nice to get those early kills on Nocturne, pretty much spreading it around evenly. 1 death on both Alistar, Ezreal, and Ryze. Just very, very good.
We do see, by the way, just talking about the builds we see thus far, Ryze, he went for the Tear of the Goddess, extremely common. In fact, I don't think I've seen a Ryze ever not get Tear of the Goddess first because, well, Ryze scales
made
off,
for him, yeah.
Yeah, Ryze, his abilities scale off of how much magic, I'm sorry, how much mana he has. So if he has more mana with something like a Tear, then he will both have more mana and do more damage, so it's perfect for him. He also picked up the Mercury Treads, which gives him some magic resistance that will help him a lot in lane, but he's actually heading up top now. He's delayed for a moment, actually, and that might be exactly what Shushay needs to get out of here. Slicing Maelstrom trying to stun them so he can get out alive. Will the Root Prison land? This Ignite is down, and he is going to die from the Ignite. Vladimir going in to try and make sure that God was killed. Oh, wow. Ryu almost taking his death blow there. Oh my god, that did so much damage. And uh-oh. Xpeke going in for the kill here. Will he be able to pull it off? One more attack on Ryu will finish him off, and he's going to get away.
Yeah, Cyanide's ultimate is on cooldown, so he's not going to be able to jump in and get the kill. But yeah, Xpeke is going to force them away, make sure that the minions don't come into the turret so that Nocturne is going to be able to put on as much damage to the turret as possible.
Oh, man.
Yes, Kennen died, but they can still make up for it a little bit by hurting the turret. As soon as that turret goes down, Kennen's going to be a lot stronger because he can put on multiple stuns in a row if it's a sustained fight.
Yep. Wow, that was so close. That was so close to being absolutely catastrophic for StarTale. They almost lost Vlad and Ryze. Summoner heal just barely keeping Vlad alive. So nicely defended, though, gotta say.
Yep, that's very true, but we do see a gold advantage for StarTale. Most likely that's due to these heart of the golds on both Alistar and Dr. Mundo. Meanwhile, Janna just finished her Philosopher's Stone, so all those are gold per 5 items, things that give you extra money just passively. But having more on the StarTale team and a little bit sooner is going to give them just 500 gold advantage. Not anything too crazy, but enough to talk about.
Ward going down by Coma there. And it looks like they were thinking about poking those raids, but they're just going to back off, go back to their respective locations. And Xpeke, he's up to something, man. He's been kind of wandering around a lot here. Yeah, never mind, just putting a ward down there. I don't know, we've seen a lot of players hiding in that bush next to mid lane in the last couple minutes. I feel like someone had planned on going for a gank of some kind, and it just didn't have the opportunity, so
yeah, it's just
keep an eye there.
Nocturne's ultimate can jump from really far away. So the thing is, if Galio can catch someone in a bush or something like that, Nocturne can jump in even though he wasn't necessarily in a position for a gank or a traditional gank. So they're trying to leverage that capability as much as possible.
Yeah. By the way, for those of you that might be new, the term gank that we keep using basically means like a surprise kill. A gank being when you surprise the other team by outnumbering them suddenly by having one champion come out of the bushes or use an ultimate or something to change locations quickly such that their opponent finds themselves outnumbered without expecting it. So that's what a gank is.
Thank you for that. Sure. Yeah, so
hopefully people are telling their friends to watch the show too.
Yeah, League of Legends is a relatively new game, especially in Korea. We got a lot of new people coming into it, just exploding in popularity, which is really cool. So we got to try to give knowledge to pretty much people at every level. Dragon is up now. Fnatic is pinging it, so they're going to let people know that we are going to need to start a fight there soon. Kennen was behind on items for a little bit, but he did just go back in Ash.
Hits him before the flash, and he manages to get away. Is he going to be able to? No. The fear goes down on Joker. He is going to die. And Cyanide is 4-0.
I'm going to blame that one on lag. Flash should have gone off before he got hit.
Well, it's interesting how different abilities will have priority over other abilities, basically, in certain situations. And in that case, the phase shift to get him away actually did go off, but after he got stunned. So he got stunned when he landed at the new location. Very interesting that was able to happen. A little bit of a fight going on here. It's 3-on-4. Fnatic is in the right position. Galio pulls them in, but Vladimir is now here as well. He's going to turn the tides, as it were. Oh, so much damage being done by Rise, and it looks like Fnatic is barely going to get away. Whoa, actually, no. Nocturne goes down. Is Vitamin going to get killed in return, though? No, he's barely going to get out alive. So StarTale almost losing 2 players, almost getting 3, but only getting 1.
Yeah, but Lamia still wanting to push this engagement, although he has no mana left.
Oh, he almost killed everybody there, but they managed to flash out and get away. He's going to get Alistair. The kill does go to Lamia.
1-for-1 trade, but Alistar dying without any sort of kills on his own is not going to give any bounty to Fnatic. However, Nocturne going down after 4 kills is going to give a lot of extra gold to StarTale. Very nice for them, even though they did lose the Dragon at that point. But Fnatic is also going to take a turret in this situation, so that's going to give them a little over 1.5k, or almost 1.5k advantage. Very good for Fnatic, but this is still anybody's game at the 15-minute mark.
Yeah, very cool games thus far. Very even. Kills back and forth. The Dragon going to... Actually, wait, who took the Dragon again? Fnatic
got the Dragon, okay, yeah. Before the fight started, they were able to pick it off. Very good for them when they had the slight advantage. But
they turned it around. Got some kills. Well, I guess they both got kills out of it.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, so again, a very even game. Less than about 1,000 gold difference between these two teams right now. Blue buff's going to go to Galio, help him stay in the middle lane there.
Interesting choice we see on Ashe. She did actually grab that mana potion. We saw her be a little low in mana at the end of that last fight. If she had some more, she would have gotten an easier kill. Kennen wouldn't have had to waste his ultimate. So just thinking ahead.
There is not a worse feeling on Ashe than when you know you could do so much when you have your enchanted arrow and you don't have the mana to cast it. That is such a horrible feeling. I sometimes pick up a mana potion on Ashe for just that reason. When you have 130 mana and you need 150 for your ultimate, it can change the tide of a fight in a game, actually, to have that little bit of mana extra for that engagement. So
yep. And even when you're at the end of a fight, having the mana for the frost shot to slow down anyone that you're shooting can really make the difference in picking off those final little bits of enemy champions that are trying to flee, which they would have had an advantage here. But we do have Mundo almost face checking that bush, but not quite. He does think better of it.
see Lamia putting a couple of those frost arrows on Joker. Immediately healed back up by Mafa. This game is so tense. I'm like
Yeah,
getting
I don't know
jitters
what's
here.
gonna be
This is the
happening here.
last game of the round of 16. Both these teams are so strong that they actually have a really good chance of making it out of the quarterfinals if they can get there. But one of them's going to be defeated here. One's going to be eliminated. I have no idea who it's going to be.
And very even overall. Galio a little bit ahead in creep score against Rise, but Rise does have an extra kill, but Galio has two assists. So very even in the mid lane, relatively even in the bottom lane when you factor in the assists. However, Ezreal is a little bit ahead in creep score, but the items are about equal as well. Ash obviously going for a bit more AD damage, while Ezreal is going for a bit more sustain with that Vampiric Scepter. And top lane, we have the same items as well.
Yep.
Except for the boots.
The boots are a little different, but they both have that Will of the Ancients, which gives them Spell Vamp, which means they get life back for damage that they deal in spells.
Which everyone on the StarTale team is going to be doing some sort of magic damage, although Ezreal obviously going to be focused more on his attack damage.
Yeah.
Abyssal Scepter coming out from Galio. Interesting choice this early in the game.
Well, Galio, it makes a lot of sense for Galio. He scales off of magic resistance. Half of his magic resistance is transferred to ability power. So if he gets magic resistance, he actually gets defense and offense at the same time. So that's why we see him have that extra Null Mantle. That's why he has the Chalice of Harmony, which gives him mana regen and magic resistance as well. And Ryu coming in, and oh no, he didn't get the Rune Prison off in time. Can enable the lightning rush away before they were able to do that damage. That would have been a kill, I think. Well, with Kennen, you never know.
I don't know if Fnatic has the timer on the blue buff for StarTale, but when they saw that Rise was up at the top lane, they did have a few extra moments to go and steal that buff from them. However, they're not choosing to do so.
Yeah, that would have been a perfect time since 3 of the StarTale team went back to spawn. And Cyanide's going to go in here and take a poke at it at least. Probably just ward it. Oh, he's going to try and pull it out for the steal. But StarTale's entire team is there. Are they going to get him with the Rune Prism? Xpeke coming in as well. Xpeke says, maybe I should get out of this. But the Ash Arrow and the ultimate from Galio pulls them all in. But I think that just means the suicide by Xpeke. Lamia is not going to be able to put out the damage by himself. If Kennen was there, it would have been a different story. But with only, basically down 1 champion there at the beginning of the fight, StarTale comes out ahead in that one and defends their blue buff. Who actually got the blue? It looks like Vitamin ended up with the blue by killing Galio, I believe.
Yep, he got the Hemoplague final hit on Galio, was able to take him out even though he was trying to get away. Nice engage by StarTale. Once again, just like from the game on Wednesday, they're able to show that they have the psychology advantage over Fnatic. They're able to just jump on them, surprise them where they really shouldn't. And now the Dragon is up and being pinged by StarTale. Looks like they're in position to grab it. True Shot Barrage going on Ash, doing a little bit of damage, trying to scare him away. But it's not enough. The turret is most likely going to go down very soon. As soon as that next creep wave comes. But that's going to give StarTale a few extra moments to start this Dragon on their own. It does get pinged from Fnatic, but can Fnatic get there in time? It's going to be a 5v3 to start. This is not a good situation for Shushe and Cyanide to be in.
No, they're just going to take the Dragon. Not enough of Fnatic was there in time to properly contest that. So they get the Dragon. Nice chunk of gold.
Yep, but at the cost of a turret. It was good for Fnatic not to try to contest that Dragon at the time. They probably would have lost that fight, but they didn't really need Shushe and Cyanide to even encroach on the area at all. They could have just stayed in their lanes, gained a little bit more creep score, get that money to go buy some more items, and make sure that the benefit that StarTale got from Dragon wasn't really that much when you factor in everything else that's going on in the game.
Yep. Uh-oh, going after Ryu here. Nope.
Trying to. Not quite quick enough.
Clearing out some minions, I guess. Shushe just farming up the middle there a little bit. Mundo's going to go ahead and take the red buff up here as well on Coma. A little bit of engagement up here at top. Galio is actually transferred up to the top, and Kennen has taken mid, which is kind of interesting. Possibly because of the... I don't know why, actually.
Well, Kennan's not actually been doing that great of a job against Vladimir right now, so rotating him out is going to be really good, especially against Ryze. Xpeke can't get in to do a lot of damage against Ryze at this time, because Ryze just does so much burst damage from medium distance that he's able to take out a lot of the health from Galio without any sort of repercussions coming against him.
Kennen has a little bit better of an escape as well.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, we see wards from both teams just all over the center area. Everyone wants to stay at their at the middle line and just try to farm as much as they can. No one's saying that they have an extreme advantage at this point. They're trying to wait until the next dragon objective comes up, or just an opening that they can get. And we see StarTale is actually forming to try to come against both Janet and Galio here. Maybe try to catch them off guard, but no, they are going to be able to get away.
Yep, I'm a little bit surprised. Both teams are kind of being a little bit aimless here. We do see now Fnatic actually pushing middle a little bit. They're going to lose the top tower in exchange, though, because Vladimir's up there without any repercussions. They are going to get mid tower, and actually Vladimir says, hold on a second. I need to be back with my team here. This is a strong push. This is all 5 of them. I need to be getting back and defending that middle. Otherwise, we might lose an inhibitor. It's not worth the top tower, but Fnatic backs off.
Instead, they lost the turret for nothing, and now they're going to try exactly what happened to them, possibly. Warding this bush to make sure they know what's going on. The red buff's not going to be up for a while, so there's no reason for StarTale to head in this direction.
Oh, they're going in on Coma. Coma's not the target they wanted. They might have wanted to wait. Might have wanted to wait for a better target there, because Coma just says, I don't really care about you damaging me. I'm Mundo. And StarTale's going to push into the middle here. Oh, the crystal arrow just gave Mafa a haircut, man. That was close, but he did not get hit. And Fnatic does use that little scare to position themselves in front of their tower again, though.
Yeah, StarTale knew that a lot of the cooldowns for Fnatic were already used up. They did a bunch of damage with that True Shot Barrage and the Hemo Plague from Vladimir. So if Fnatic wanted to do a team fight, StarTale would have been very confident in that. That's why you saw them push up into the middle lane, even though they knew that Fnatic's team was behind them. And then once Fnatic came around, they backed off a little bit because the cooldowns were back up again.
Wow. I mean, this game is, again, really, really close. Only a 2,000 gold difference. Fnatic with the lead right now, but this has been really back and forth. Kills for both teams. There hasn't been any real big team fights where one team came out hugely ahead of the other. And it looks like, oh, they actually have the timer on the blue golem over here perfectly. They're going to try and steal the blue of StarTale, and they will get it.
Yeah, that's going to leave them in a good position to fight for the next dragon in about 2 minutes. But Vitamin's going to take down the top turret that he was working on earlier. He knew that Fnatic was not in a position to do any sort of serious damage yet. However, he better get to his team very soon, otherwise this bottom turret could go down relatively quickly.
Yeah, once again, Vladimir pushing a different lane. Leaves his team a little bit undermanned. Ooh. And they're doing a lot of good poking here. Both teams actually poking back and forth, but Galio does so much damage right now.
Yeah, that Resolute Smite does a lot of damage from really far away. Even that Righteous Gust is doing some pretty good AoE damage. So Galio built extremely tanky against Ryze and Vladimir, but also able to dish it out at the same time.
I mean, that's one of the advantages of Galio, is when you build him right, he takes virtually no damage from magic damage. And oh no, there's Fnatic going in, doing the trick that StarTale did, catching him off guard. Coma goes down immediately. Nocturne Flash, Surging rather, is going to take out Ryu. No Ryze, no Mundo. Vitamin running for dear life with his pool on. Oh my god, Ezreal's going to go down. Vitamin's going to go down. Are they going to get Mafa as well? I think he's probably going to get back in here. No, he's not. With the slow and the speed boost, Xpeke finishes off Alistar. 5-0, ladies and gentlemen. Fnatic using the trick that StarTale used against them by popping out of a bush with the beautiful engage at the right second, has taken an ace, and they're going to get this tower. I don't know if they're going to be able to get the inhibitor with everyone respawning in about 5-10 seconds, but yes, they will get the inhibitor with Ashe pumping out tons of damage, and they're going to be able to fall back with a lot of money in their pockets and a lot of momentum. Yeah, a lot of pride in their hearts.
what was a 2K gold advantage for Fnatic just turned into a 5K, so not too much of an advantage, but the thing is the first inhibitor of the game is down. Only one turret is down for Fnatic.
Are they going to take a Vengeance Baron?
Ooh, possibly.
They're all heading for Baron right now. They know everyone had to back on Team Fnatic. They're going to get Xpeke though.
See, look, he's taking almost no damage from Rise. It's very good. He's going to be able to get back to the safety of his turret, but it's not going to be enough. He is going to go down. StarTale is going to be able to counter, grab that buff from Galio, but it doesn't really matter. Galio was the bait to pull them away from Baron. Losing one champion is not that big of a deal when you stack it up against a Baron swing there.
Yeah, and because all of Team Fnatic was high on health, they just bought some brand new shiny items. StarTale, even though it was 5v4, decided they didn't want to try and take that Baron at that point in time. They're going to go for some easier objectives, and they're going to go for just taking it. Oh, and StarTale trying to turn the tables. Oh, but Fnatic is going for Baron. Oh, and this is actually perfect. I think they'd be willing to give up their mid tower in exchange for Baron, but instead, StarTale's going to come down from below. Fnatic knows this, and they're going to go up into the enemy jungle. Oh, Galio actually went back,
They're
so it's actually only 4 of them.
back door, it looks like. This is going to be interesting if they actually go for it, based on the pings that were going on from Fnatic.
It's so weird. Both teams in each other's jungles right now. They're going to get the top tower. This is dangerous. All of Team StarTale is going up north there, and it is 5v4. Oh, it looks like they might get out. Righteous Gust, giving them all a speed boost. The entire Fnatic team running to the side. Are they going to get back? Galio is now with them, so it is a 5v5. They're pushing on this inhibitor tower in the middle, and Fnatic is in a beautiful position. StarTale has to engage from outside of their own tower if they want to. Are they going to engage on that? This would be a perfect moment for Galio to jump in. Is he going to? The Ash Arrow goes down. Xpeke gets engaged upon instead. Janna ults everyone away though, and now the Galio ult is going to pull in Vitamin, but he's able to get out of it. It looks like StarTale is so low on health. They're trading kills back and forth. Vitamin is going to go down, but is he going to get anyone in exchange? No, he's not. Moppa's going to go down. Another ace! And Team Fnatic is definitely going to get another inhibitor. No, they are going for the game. Ladies and gentlemen, StarTale absolutely trouncing Team Fnatic on Wednesday. Fnatic coming back in the final match of the round is going to get the win. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Fnatic will be advancing to the quarterfinals. GG! Oh my god, turning things around on Team StarTale. Wow, an absolutely amazing performance, beautiful engagements. They did exactly what they needed to. They did the exact strategies that worked against them on Wednesday, they used against StarTale today on Friday, and it worked perfectly.
We got a little bit of a tear coming out from StarTale. Tearing a little bit for them too, but I'm super happy for these guys.
That's right.
So much relief for them. It looked very, very dire after Wednesday's matches, but like you said, they were able to pick the champions that did so much damage to them and turn it on StarTale.
Nicely done indeed. Especially, like, I mean, just beautiful, beautiful picking all together. Going with that Ashe Janna to start off with, so they can use those good engagements. They claimed Janna first, so they could have that ability to use Monsoon to get anyone off of them. They used it rather well. And then, when they saw the double mages with Galio, with Rise and Vladimir, they're like, all right, well, we'll just get Galio then.
Yeah, Rise was the final pick, but grabbing
right.
Galio and Kennen, they synergized really, really well in a lot of those team fights.
Yeah.
Dished out a lot of damage, prevented a lot of damage. Galio, we saw, took almost nothing from Rise at the end of the game. Just really, really nice choices.
The fact that Vladimir is a pretty good indication they're going to have double mages, since Vladimir is usually top though. So you're exactly right though. They didn't know Rise was going to be picked there. They could have switched things up and got Vlad mid, I guess. But good pick on Galio regardless. Was another good engagement there. Nocturne can jump out of nowhere. He got a lot of kills. Remember, the first 4 kills on Team Fnatic were all Nocturne's kills, and worked really well for them. So Team Fnatic feeling good, looking happy about that, and well-deserved win.
Yeah, it was interesting because a lot of the team fights that, or not the team fights, just the engagements that happened early on looked like they might have been going in favor of StarTale. If you don't count those final 2 aces, it would have been 6-8 in favor of StarTale. So
no, it was like you said, it was a 2,000 gold game up until last 5 minutes, basically.
So just crazy job by Fnatic. Exactly what they need to do. That's going to give them the confidence to go into the round of 8. And for anyone that doesn't know, we are actually going to be choosing the round of 8 groups, or not groups, but the matchups in just a few minutes here after the two teams get their interviews and recover from that crazy, crazy game.
Spectacular, spectacular play by both teams. I don't want to take anything away from StarTale. They, as much as Fnatic deserves to feel happy, StarTale deserves to feel disappointed. They did very, very well. They kept it very even for most of the game. They took some really good objectives earlier on in the game and just couldn't quite pull out the win, though. Fnatic got a little bit extra. They got a dragon here. They got a blue buff there. And were able to turn that couple thousand gold lead and some good positioning into a win.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I was not expecting that at all. Seeing how well StarTale played on the other day and just knowing the history of the team, it's just a strong team. But I'm very, very happy for Fnatic here. Wanting to see how the Europeans show their play style in the upcoming tournament.
Yep.
Moving on to the round of 8.
And just as MIG and MIG both advanced first, our two foreign teams, CLG and Fnatic, advanced second, meaning that they will not be able to meet each other in the quarterfinals either.
Yep. Hopefully they won't meet until the finals, but we'll see if that actually happens. Meanwhile, we got an interview getting set up for you guys in just a moment, see exactly what these guys feel. Obviously, it's going to be a lot of relief, a lot of happiness. You can just see that from their faces, but I want to hear about what their thoughts were going throughout that game. Maybe in the decisions for which champions they picked, which ones they banned.
Yeah.
Just showing a lot better thinking for this game compared to the game they had on Wednesday.
Nicely done indeed, and I just love the fact that Fnatic hid in a bush twice.
Almost the same one.
They hid in a bush and waited for the right moment and then just jumped on them, and it was beautiful, it was perfect.
So here were the results for today. MIG Blaze obviously going to be the #1 seed coming out of Group D. Fnatic showing why they're here in Korea, beating Hunters, and then pulling out what everyone was hoping for against StarTale.
Wow. Nicely done. So Blaze and Fnatic are going to advance from the group. And yes, we will be going to an interview with Fnatic, and this time we're actually going to have the Fnatic Korean manager, Hwani, is going to be translating for the Korean fans. I think that's who we're going to have translating.
Yeah, most likely. He's someone that Fnatic has here in Korea to make sure that the Fnatic StarCraft team, as well as the League of Legends team, are getting what they need, make sure they're able to get around in Korea, get the practice they need against the Koreans, as well as just everything else that they need to live a good life as pro gamers here in Korea. So it's going to be interesting to see how they take advantage of this opportunity they have available for them for the next month and a half or so for LOL the Champions. Hopefully they'll be in it for the next month and a half, but we'll see.
Hopefully we will see. They're going to have a tough road ahead of them. I mean, they already did lose a game to StarTale, one of the other professional teams here in Korea. They're going to be going up against, we have I guess 3 or 4 professional Korean teams in the quarterfinals that they might be going up against as well.
Yeah,
so
they're not going to be able to go up against MIG Blaze, but that still leaves Zenix Storm.
Yeah.
MIG
true,
Frost, even stronger than MIG Blaze, supposedly, but we'll see if they come against each other. And then finally, the last team of Team OP. So all very strong Korean teams. Those are their potential rivals in the round of 8. We're going to see that in about 20 minutes after this interview that we have with them. We're going to be doing a random drawing for the round of 8 pairings. So that's going to be exciting to see that as well.
Yeah, I'm really, really curious to see what matchups we're going to have in the round of 8, how those brackets are going to be formed. You know, if the MIGs will be on the same side of the bracket or across, if the foreign teams will be on the same side of the bracket or across. It's going to be crazy. But let's go ahead and go into our interview with Team Fnatic.
네, 마지막 8강 티켓을 가지고 간 팀은요, Fnatic 팀입니다. 축하드립니다. Congratulations! 잘 못 알아들으시는 것 같아요. 제가 축하한다고 말했는데, 그래서 제가 원활한 소통을 위해서 오늘도 김성환 매니저님을 모셨습니다. 안녕하세요. 지금 이 팀의 어떤 역할을 맡고 계시죠?
네, 지금 Fnatic 전체 팀의 지금 한국 총괄 매니저를 담당하고 있습니다.
네, 그럼 안심하고 제가 마음껏 질문을 하도록 하겠습니다. 우선 8강의 마지막으로 진출을 하게 됐는데 지금 소감이 어떤지 궁금하네요.
guys just made it to the round of 8 just now. How do you feel?
Great, more than great.
정말 기쁘고요. 정말 너무너무 기쁘다고 합니다.
네, 수요일 경기에서 그래도 한번
Crowd
패배의
giving a little
아픔을
bit of a
겪었는데
chuckle at the
상당히 충격이 컸을 것
simplicity
같은데
of his answer there.
We actually
Well
lost
deserved
the
enthusiasm.
first match, and how did you overcome those?
But the main thing is like we didn't know anything about ban or picking against them. And I think when we came here, we were like planned. We banned like stuff that we don't like at all, but they still got their picks, and we took like really not they weren't bad picks, but they could have been better. And today, for example, we knew that they were gonna go for double DP as soon as they got the Vladimir, and Galio is like perfect. They were gonna take Cassiopeia Rise for sure, so Galio was perfect for that.
네, 여러 가지로 뭐 어떤 그 챔피언 초이스 하는 데 있어가지고 많이 그런 부분들이 많이 적용이 된 것 같고요. 이번 경기 때는 갈리오를 선택한 게 가장 큰 아마도 수확이었다고 생각을 한다고 합니다.
아, 그렇군요. 그리고 이번에 사이네이드 선수의 그 녹턴이 네, 굉장히 키를 많이 먹어가지고 세졌거든요, 상대편에 비해서.
Sainaid, you had a lot of kills, so your champion actually got really high on the level. Okay, and 그래서 지금
어땠나?
how do you feel about that?
I feel good, of course, to do good in such an important game, and yeah, nothing more.
물론 당연히 기분 좋고요. 뭐 더 이상은 없는 것 같다고 합니다.
근데 다른 해외팀 CLG 팀도 조 2위로 올라갈 만큼 굉장히 경기가 어려웠는데 한국팀이랑 경기해보니까 어떤 느낌인지 궁금합니다.
The other foreign team, CLG, has made it to round of 8 by making second place in their group, and we just made it to our round 8 by doing a second place. How do you guys feel about Korean teams going against Korean teams?
Yeah, we're pretty not surprised actually, because Koreans are good at playing games. Koreans did really good, and we're really happy to be here, be able to scrim and learn from their playstyle.
그 한국 팀이 그렇게 잘한다고는 생각하지 못해서 사실 생각보다 깜짝 놀랐다고 합니다. 한국 팀 실력에 대해서. 그래서 이 많은 관중들 앞에서 이렇게 경기하는 거로서도 되게 기쁘고 앞으로도 더 많은 걸 배울 수 있고 더 많이 경기를 할 수 있게 할 것 같아서 굉장히 기쁘다고 합니다.
네, 이건 좀 사적인 질문인데 한국에 오셔서 어떻게 생활을 하고 계신지도 좀 궁금하거든요.
So how do you adjust to living in Korea?
We live in Korea. We have a gaming house by Fnatic, and we all eat and sleep and practice there together every day. We try really hard. We contact with a lot of Korean teams, have a lot of Korean food. Some like it more, some don't, but it's really great.
일단 뭐 프나틱 숙소가 한국에 있어서 한국팀 숙소에서 한국 음식 먹고 같이 연습도 같이 하고 한국팀 상대로 경기도 많이 하고 그렇게 지내고 있습니다.
네, 그럼 마지막으로 이 방송이 세계적으로 나가고 있거든요. 그러니까 세계적으로 이제 프나틱을 사랑해주시는 팬들에게 한마디 해주세요.
Can you say something to all the fans out there throughout the world about Team Fnatic?
Hello to all our fans. We're really happy that you watched us, that you've been through us through a little bit of a harder patch in our gameplay, and we hope we can give you better shows, better games in the future. And yeah, to the fans here, if you want to take pictures later, I think we're up for that too. So pretty nice to meet you.
네, 항상 응원해줘서 감사드리고 사랑하고요. 팬분들에게. 그리고 앞으로도 좀 더 앞으로도 열심히 노력을 해가지고 좀 더 좋은 모습으로 관중들 앞에서 게임할 수 있도록 노력하고요. 뭐 사진이나 이런 거 필요면 언제든지 와서 같이 사진 찍었으면 좋겠다고 합니다.
아, 정말 굉장히 세계적으로 인지도가 있는 만큼 굉장히 마음도 넓은 것 같습니다. 여기서 원활한 인터뷰는 여기서 끝내고요. 이제 16강 경기가 모두 끝났네요. 8강 경기만 남아 있습니다. 8강에서 다시 만나도록 하고요. 여러분 8강도 많이 기대해주세요. 민주이였습니다.
All right. Awesome interview from Team Fnatic there. They haven't been in Korea very long, but they're already eating some Korean food apparently.
Of course, you have
Settling
to.
in pretty well. Yeah, Korean food is great, by the way.
So they've got at least a week to be able to prepare for their next match. They're going to have a bit more knowledge of who they're going to be going up against as well, so that's going to help them a lot. And they're going to be getting a lot more scrimming practice against some of these other top teams as well. They were saying in their interview that they haven't had a whole lot of experience against these Korean teams, so getting that is really going to change their play style, hopefully for the better. Well, of course for the better.
Yeah, well, we've already seen the improvement just in the last couple days.
Yep, and definitely this is going to be, I think, the start of them coming out of their slump that they've been having in the Western world. Let's see if it's the Kickstarter to bring them to the Season 2 League of Legends Championship.
Maybe, man, maybe.
Oh, already doing the picks here.
We're going to be drawing the names already. And it looks like...
All right, so for anyone just tuning in or having no idea what's going on, basically we had the 4 group stages to determine which teams were coming out first seed or second seed from the 4 groups, and now they're going to be randomly selecting which opponent they're going to be getting, starting with MIG Frost. That was Loco Doco choosing for his team. I'm not sure what he picked, though.
Here's MIG Blaze pick.
Okay, so the first seeds are actually choosing which order they're going to be in the bracket.
Oh, okay.
And then once that happens, they're going to choose who their opponent is. So anyone doesn't play against the same team twice, they can't choose the second place team of their own group. Right. So it's going to be completely new matchups for the entire round of 8 stage. Okay, so who's this going to be for MIG Frost?
All right. Loco Doco being very dramatic about unfolding the piece of paper.
That's MacNoon right there. One of the big faces for Najee and EM Fire. Very big rivals for MIG Frost. Let's see if they get against each other in the first round of the round of 8. That'd be kind of crazy.
And I don't know when they're going to reveal these actually. So. Fnatic and CLG being represented in the middle there. They have to wait to be picked. They're not going to be doing any picking themselves.
Nope. Nice talking between the 2 captains there. So while you're waiting for the results here, we're just as anxious as you guys are, but go over to OGNLOL.com, make sure you sign up so you can go check out the VODs for free. Yep. Then also go to Azubu.com, sign up there, you can get some free prizes, win a trip to come see the finals of this. Already we're starting to see some 8 really, really strong teams, and when it does get to the finals, that's going to be 2 of the strongest teams in the world. Possibly CLG, possibly Fnatic, or maybe 2 Korean teams.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We will see. Yeah, and remember, by the way, the VODs will be going to a pay system eventually at some point, but for now they are free, so make sure you take advantage of that situation. And we will, of course, though, so you don't have to stay up all night if you're in the United States or if you're in Europe. We are going to be doing rebroadcasts Saturday evenings in both of those time zones as well.
Yep.
So make sure you check those out on Saturday evenings.
Get your friends together. Have a party.
Yeah, exactly.
Enjoy
you can have an afternoon LOL party. Get a pizza. Get some soda. Make some quiche.
Quiche is delicious.
I don't know, something like that. Have some Korean food maybe. Make them a big pot of kimchi jjigae. Kimchi jjigae and League of Legends. Good combination.
A little messy.
A little bit, I guess.
Korean barbecue and League of Legends. There you go.
Oh man, now I'm so hungry.
Sir Hotshot requesting Loco Doco to be the translator for them. Loco Doco obviously having perfect English. He did live in the US for a little while.
Yep. Alright, I gotta be honest with you, I have no idea what's going on right now with this process
we could use a
that
translator.
we're witnessing. But we'll also remind you that you can go to Azubu.com and you can sign up there and you can check out games, game reviews, all kinds of cool stuff related to gaming. And you can also, just by being a member, you can win a prize from Azubu.com. We're going to be announcing 2 winners at the end of every broadcast for this season to be given a prize from Azubu.com. So if you see your name up there at the end, you can email them. And of course, 10 people?
10 people.
10
Yep.
people are going to be selected to get their flight, their room and board. Well, their room at least. I'm not sure if their board is paid for, but
board as well.
Okay.
Pretty much everything you need to come to Korea, enjoy the life, and
yeah, you get a trip
experience
to the
finals of
here
LOL
in
the
Korea.
Champions.
Really, really cool.
So I believe the first pick was taken. I don't know what the result was. McNean looking a little sleepy there. It's like the sleepy panda.
All right, well, hopefully someone will be getting us some information about what's going on here. But at the very least, we'll probably get a bracket for you at some point. Something is being explained to these guys. Well, in any case, I am, whatever the matchups are, super looking forward to the round of 8. The quarterfinals are going to be amazing. All of the teams that advanced are so good. It's going to be awesome.
I think I would personally like to see Zenix Storm versus Fnatic first round.
Really?
I want Fnatic to get revenge for CLG in the corners.
Does that mean CLG would then play against? Well, I guess they already got their own revenge against StarTale, didn't they? That's interesting. This last group was the only group where we had a rematch in the final game.
Yeah. And the results turned right around on each other.
Yeah, very cool, as is often the case. So hopefully, if our translator is listening over our microphones right now, he will try and get us some more information on who is playing against whom.
If not, we'll have a nice graphic when it's all sorted out so you can see visually exactly how this is going to work out, who's going to be playing against who in the first round, and then how it's going to go up all the way to the final. This seems more complicated than it should be.
I don't know. Oh, well.
So there you have it, guys. That's
There you
going to be
have
your round of 8 groups. You have to figure it out on your own, just on who is handshaking, who is strangling who.
It's actually a logic puzzle, you know? And you have to go back and look at the visual cues between the teams.
Whoever gets it right is going to get a special prize if you're also signed up on Azubu.com.
If you're also signed up on Azubu.com and you're selected randomly.
Oh,
all right.
There we go.
Here we go. Oh, wow.
Oh my God! All right, so right off the bat, Group A, that should be a final right there.
What?
MIG Frost versus Najee Empire. No wonder McNean was looking so angry.
Oh yeah, he didn't look happy at all. He was looking a little nervous. Don't worry, we're gonna get that graphic back up for you, I think, at some point. But wow! So we're gonna have. Actually, they didn't put it up for very long. Was Team OP was playing against Fnatic, if I remember correctly, right?
I don't know. I was too focused on Group A. That's going to be crazy. All right, here we go.
Okay, here we go. Next week, the quarterfinals: MIG Frost versus EM Fire, and Zenix Storm versus MKZ. Those are going to be great matches. Oh my God, Frost versus Empire.
Great way to kick off the round of 8.
That's going to be epic.
Oh man, that's why I wish there was a double elimination. Both of those two teams so strong in Korea.
Yeah, and remember it is a best of 3, so we're going to have 2 or 3 matches on both those days, on Wednesday and Friday.
Yeah, an interesting thing that we have in this tournament, if it does get down to that tiebreaker match, the rubber match as some people call it, it is actually going to be a blind pick, not draft mode.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Okay, so
here we
the
go.
full
All right.
brackets again.
Blaze playing against CLG, and OP versus Fnatic is how it's going to work out there.
Okay.
So the first place winner of today's group against last week's second place winner.
This is going to be very good for the foreigner teams. That's going to give them an extra week to prepare against their opponents.
Yeah.
CLG, I don't know if they're going to get as much help against Blaze as Frost was giving them against the rest of their opponents.
I don't know if Loco Doko from MIG is going to be helping CLG this time prepare to play their second team Blaze. Hopefully they've gained enough wisdom from his tutelage that they can bring it to themselves. But Wow, that is going to be really, really cool. And OP is going to be playing Fnatic next week, the following week rather, as well.
There's Mokuja, the jungler for Najin Ian Fire, trying to get his reaction for how he feels about playing against MIG Frost.
That's going to be
looks
hardcore.
relatively confident. I think
that's
they're
gonna be hardcore.
They're realizing this is going to be a week of a lot of practice for them. They've only got 5 days to prepare for that match.
Yeah, and I'm actually not 100% certain how the brackets are going to be arranged then, as far as the winners of those.
It should be A versus D. And
it's A versus D? Okay.
Or A versus B and C versus D.
Okay, so that means that CLG and Fnatic are actually on the same side of the bracket. We could have a semifinal between the two teams.
Mm-hmm. And we could have a semifinal between both MIG, theoretically.
No, that'll be a final. Blaze is in Group C, so we could have an MIG versus MIG final, hypothetically as well.
I'm sure Loco's cheering for that one. So here's what we got for next week. Oh
yeah,
my God.
blind mode for the Game 3, which is a little bit unorthodox, but kind of cool. It makes things a little bit more even. No one gets an advantage from having the first pick or anything like that, but it means it's blind mode. It's in the dark. You don't know what your opponents are picking. You kind of have to guess.
You could have the same champions against the same champions.
You could have a mirror match as well. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Ryze versus Ryze in middle, actually, because Ryze is one of those champs that does well against everyone. So
Shen versus Shen at top.
Shen versus Shen at top. Shyvana versus Shyvana in the jungle or something like that. That'd be interesting. Definitely there's going to be 2 Jannas if it goes to Game 3. I would, well, maybe not definitely, but...
Yeah, if it's 2 Koreans playing against each other, most likely.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
Wow,
those are some crazy matches.
Wow. This tournament is fantastic, man.
And this is where it all starts to heat up.
Yeah.
The round of 8, well, the round of 16, we did see a lot of victim teams.
We had some victim teams that were a little bit scrubby. A little bit scrubby. Didn't put up the best fight against some of these real hardcore teams.
They'll come back next season a lot stronger.
Yeah, no, they definitely will.
It's very new for League of Legends in Korea, but it's exploding. Already the most popular game right now, and just increasing over time. This is the first time that we've got some serious League of Legends competition with OGN LOL the champions. Just going to get bigger and bigger. Keep watching. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know who you think is going to come out of those matches. I know I have no idea for that first one, but it's going to be exciting either way.
It'll be awesome. We hope you guys enjoyed it. That's going to do it for today's broadcast of Epic Games. Tell your friends about the rebroadcast on Saturday. See you next week.
I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages of vacant. Modern kingdom for the taking. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play